We end with a trip back in time, a trip with Captain Sully Sullenberger, the pilot who landed on the Hudson. Sullenberger is now an aviation consultant, including with CBS News. This week, Steve Hartman was his travel partner in the air and on the road.
Sometimes getting there is half the fun.
Good morning, welcome aboard.
But this time, it will be all the fun.
I'll take a mimosa.
I've got them.
You've got them?
Of course.
This is a joyride
Hola.
from Miami to Charlotte on a 1958 Eastern Airlines DC-7. It's one of the last of the legendary prop liners still around, and airline enthusiasts from all over the world jumped at the chance to go for a spin, including
Having fun?
this man. Chesley Sullenberger says just being a passenger on this plane is a career highlight,
You know, they used to have hat racks here that you could hang on to.
which for him is saying something.
Oh, it's up there. It's definitely up there. I mean, it's something I've always wished I could do and thought I never would be able to.
For Sullenberger, it's a dream that dates back more than 50 years. As a kid, he used to build model planes, and the DC-7 he built, just like this one, was an absolute favorite. It didn't fly, but it sure took him places.
I had this romanticized, idealized view of what it must be like to be an airline pilot and to go to these exotic destinations and take people places they needed to go.
Eventually, of course, something happened that took a lot of the romance out of flying for Captain Sullenberger. But it wasn't this. It was this. When the airlines ditched good service, when fine dining made way for bad food, made way for no food, when passengers became cattle, Sullenberger says a great deal was lost, which is why this isn't just a plane to him.
This DC-7 is really a time machine. It's a way of reliving in some small way the glamour of a more genteel age.
It's not glamorous now to travel?
It certainly is if you bring your own glamour.
This flight obviously had no shortage of glamour and glory. It arrived in Charlotte and parked outside the Carolinas Aviation Museum. The museum just so happens to have Sullenberger's fated Flight 1549.
Step over.
So we went in it together. It was his first time since that day.
The cabin is intact. Only one overhead bin I saw broken.
For Sullenberger, being in here was a whole different kind of nostalgia, although not in a bad way.
It just makes me think how well the evacuation went, and we got everybody out of each of these seats.
Even in the captain's chair, he was as stoic this time as he was last. Because, he says, being here is just a reminder of how much safer equipment and procedures are today.
It did its job.
He says it may be nice to go back in time, but you wouldn't want to stay there. The golden age of air travel may have offered more leg room, but what really matters, especially around the holidays, are those outstretched arms. Steve Hartman, on the road in Charlotte.